MergeBoard makes code reviews so much easier, and in this short video I'm going to show you how. We're going to see how our superior change visualization makes it so much easier to understand what your colleagues are doing. We're going to see how MergeBoard keeps track of who needs to do what, and we're going to open our own merge request. So let's dive right into it. On the left you can see all the projects I'm currently working on. Down here you can see that, at least on this demo instance, I don't have any merge requests open currently. And up here you can see that there's one merge request where I'm assigned as a reviewer. So let's review some code. We can see that there seems to have been some non-self-explaining code, which should be fixed now according to our author, Duke Von Lake. And I gave this already a thumbs up because I like the idea of self-explaining code. Here you can also see that I'm assigned as reviewer and that there is one issue connected to this merge request that's shown right here. What you can also see is that one of our scanners detected a typo, which has already been fixed by Duke, which is why there's this nice green check mark right here. Now, to review code, we will now switch to the changes view. And here we can see all the changes that have been made in this merge request. What you can see as well is that this doesn't look any superior to what you're currently used to, which is because we are currently in the normal git diff mode. If we switch to the inspective mode, you can see that a few things change. First thing you should take a look at is the minimap right here, which is so much shorter in the inspective mode, whereas in normal diff mode it's quite a bit larger, and we're going to understand why that is in just a second. The other thing you'll notice is that we have a lot of colors here, which is a nice utility that MergeBoard offers you, namely grouping. So this change right here has the color blue, and anywhere I see some blue indicator, I know that the change I'm seeing there is the very same as up here. So I only have to understand it once, and each instance where I see this change again, I know that it's the very exact same because my tool tells me so. Also, I can see this white arrow here, and if I double click, this takes me to the original version. If I double click here again, I see what it's looking like after the change. Now, the next thing you'll notice is that we have this huge block here with a yellow border. And if I scroll down following this white line, I can see that it leads me to this red block of code. And this indicates that we have a move block of code here, which was initially this location and has then been moved up here. What this guarantees me is that the content of this block of code is the very exact same, except for those changes that are indicated up here, which is a huge time saver because I don't have to check each single line and to be sure that the content hasn't changed. Now, how do we do that? We do this by not comparing lines as the normal git diff does, but we actually parse the code into an abstract syntax tree and then compare those trees. This gives us a whole lot more information, which we then can work with. All right, but we hate to review some code, right? And the first thing we'll notice is that s underscore is not a self-explaining name, which is why we will ask the author to change that. And for this, we'll use the highlighter tool and mark each individual line where we can see this variable with s underscore in the name. Those should be all. Then add a comment asking the author to change that. Now we have two options to add this comment. We could send it right away, or we could add it to our collection of review comments or change requests, which I'm going to do now because I'm not sure if this is all. Now this comment is yellow, which indicates to me that I'm the only one who can see this comment right now. This comment is right in the database, so I could close the window and come back to reviewing later, and this would still be there. Now, there are some things I think are good, and for this I'm now using the looks good to me marker, and I will mark each line I think is fine by clicking and dragging, and this gets me this green indicator here on the left, which is just an indicator for myself that I know that I don't have to review these lines later on if they don't change. The beauty is that MergeBoard tracks, even if somebody adds some changes, these lines, and will then remove the marker if the content of a line has changed, and will keep it if it hasn't. So you cannot trick yourself with this. Fine, and I think with that, I could add markers here. And with that, we are basically done. I think the rest of this merge request is fine. So let's send all the pending comments. And if we go back to the overview here, we can see our change request, and we can also see all the independent lines we referenced in this one change request. Okay, one thing we will notice as well is that the red label up here has now changed to a gray one with the author, which tells us that I'm currently not the one who can actually advance this merge request. Now the author has to implement the change requests I added. So we actually have time for our own stuff now. So let's get back to the dashboard. Again, notice how this was red before, right? Telling me that I have to do some work. Now it's gray, telling me that the author has to do some work. Right, so let's open a merge request. How do we do that? It's super simple. We simply have to click the blue plus here right next to the project. Then I have already a branch prepared. I select that here, and now you would have to add a good title and a good description, which I will not do for the sake of time. Please note that you should never do that, and this is only done for the video here. We will again add Duke as a reviewer because he's doing some good work, and we will add the corresponding issue as well. And by clicking here, we can open the merge request. So that was easy. Note that currently the CIs or scans are the only ones who can actually advance the merge request as long as these are running. In this project, it's only the scanners. Neither the author nor the reviewer can advance the merge request, so this is why this is gray. If I refresh, you'll see that the scanners are done, and the change and the reviewer is now in charge of this merge request. All right, you can see that there are 2 commits in this merge request right now, and we can check those out individually. And just looking at this commit, we can again see how inspective is quite superior to your normal git diff, because here we get the indication that what actually changed is that one additional argument has been added to this range function. If we switch back to the normal git diff, you can see that additionally there was some reformatting. This range function was spread over 4 lines before, and now it's only spread over 1, which doesn't change the code. The relevant information is that there was some argument added, and this is highlighted using inspective. You can switch between commits by clicking this next or previous button, or you could also use the drop-down menu here. All right, so with that, we have opened our merge request. So let's check out if our buddy Duke has already implemented all the changes I asked him to implement. And it looks like he did. Nice. So again, the label here is red, so that tells me that I'm needed. And by clicking, we can take a look at the actual change request. It now has this green fixed badge here, telling me that now I can approve if I'm confident that what Duke did was correct. And I can check that directly here in the comment by switching between revisions. And this shows me that it really looks like, yes, Duke did exactly what we asked him to. Every S underscore has been changed into screen underscore. So I can approve this change, and with that, all the change requests have been approved. So I can also approve this merge request, and with that, we are ready to merge, and I can click the merge button. And with that, voila, you have your first merge request merged with MergeBoard. So what's the take-home message? What you could see is that MergeBoard is really good at tracking who needs to do what by explicitly tracking the status of each change request. And you could see that understanding the changes your colleagues introduce gets so much easier when using our inspective change visualization technology. With that, I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy using MergeBoard in the future.